Good morning and welcome to the Paso-Juarez Medical Device Summit and Trade Show. My name is Jackie Butler and I am the Director of U.S. Operations for Paso-Juarez. We are excited to bring you a number of high-quality webinars and panel sessions over the next 2 days. If you missed our keynote session earlier this morning, you should be able to access the webinar recording on demand later today. While we miss seeing you in person and interacting with you, we are thankful for Zoom and our virtual platforms, which allows us to connect while staying safe and healthy. As a reminder, our event also includes a virtual trade show where you can visit with exhibitors and learn about their products and capabilities specifically geared towards medical device manufacturers. We hope you will spend some time networking and scheduling B2B meetings with these great companies. Before I move on to today's session, I wanted to remind you that this session will be recorded and will be available on demand later today. Chat will be disabled during the presentation, but we will have opportunity for Q&A after the presentation and discussion. So please feel free to write your questions in the Q&A box located at the bottom of your screen. If your question is related to our particular panelist for today, please write the name of the speaker you wish to address your question, and we will make sure that that is communicated to the panel. Today, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our webinar on creating a regional approach to dealing with medical device manufacturing skills gaps. When we first launched the idea of Paso-Juarez, before we even launched the organization, the #1 driving factor was the feedback we received across the board from regional manufacturers about talent and workforce needs being the #1 factor impacting their growth and future growth. Since then, we worked with our members and community partners, regional education providers, and economic development organizations on both sides of the border to understand and respond to the talent needs of this industry. We found that in addition to soft skills training, manufacturers are in most need of biomedical engineers, process engineers, and skill sets in validation and verification, FDA and regulatory affairs, and new product development. Most recently, and in response to COVID-19, we received Federal CARES Act funding and have launched a training program in partnership with BEPC and Tmac Norte to provide ISO training and certification implementation to local manufacturers who are shifting production to respond to COVID-19 needs, including PPE and other equipment. We'll hear more about that today during our panel, and hopefully we'll have a chance to discuss more about what these training opportunities mean for our region. For now, I would like to introduce our moderator, who will also introduce our distinct panel for today. Our moderator is Mr. Marco Saenz, from COO of BEPC. Marco is known for his technological knowledge and his positive and continuous improvement attitude. He has a strong manufacturing background within the medical device and aerospace industries and has led diverse projects in both sectors. Marco is passionate about data science and is currently working on several initiatives to support employees and partners in reaching their goals. Marco's leadership allowed BEPC Mexico division to grow exponentially for the last 4 years. Marco leads several initiatives to support customer and employee engagement, including interactive data visual dashboards through business intelligence, lead and PM for C&Q projects, Six Sigma certifications, PM training deployments, BE community initiatives, machine learning, software development, and new systems implementations. I don't think we could have a better moderator who understands the regional workforce needs of this industry, and also has been very engaged with Paso-Juarez as we work to address these issues. So Marco, I'll hand it over to you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. Good morning, and I appreciate the opportunity that you guys for inviting me to be the moderator for this panel. This is a really exciting panel for me because we're all here. We're all the invited panelists are here to provide some value to our community. So I will start by introducing one of the panelists, Denise Avila, Program Coordinator, Borderplex Alliance. Denise Avila is the Program Coordinator of the Borderplex de Mexico, a subsidiary of Borderplex Alliance. She works to improve planning and coordination between the community, public, and private sectors to impact talent formation and development. Denise has experience working in nonprofit organizations in communications and analytic roles. She is a graduate of Universidad Autónoma de Chihuahua and is currently studying her MBA. I also would like to welcome Denise. I also would like to welcome Dr. Amit Lopez, Ph.D. Regional Director from Tmac Paso del Norte at UTEP. Dr. Lopez has over 13 years of experience in areas of advanced manufacturing and operations. His education and work experience are focused on the design, development, production, and operations of a variety of manufacturing products. He brings an end-to-end systems perspective to product development and process engineering, and he is able to utilize his education and experience for problem solving and process improvement across a variety of industry projects. In his current capacity of Regional Director of Tmac Paso del Norte at UTEP, Dr. Lopez contributes to the growth of Tmac by identifying and implementing opportunities, particularly cross-regionally, to expand operations that deliver impactful services to companies, leading to improved metrics of the companies. Leila Melendez, welcome, Dr. Lopez. Leila Melendez, CEO, Workforce Solutions Borderplex. Leila Melendez is the CEO of Workforce Solutions Borderplex, a public nonprofit agency of the Texas Workforce Commission. The agency serves a 6-county region in Southwest Texas by connecting employers with skilled employees. She works closely with local businesses, educators, and economic development agencies towards improving the skill level of El Paso residents and the competitiveness of the Borderplex region. Ms. Melendez is native El Pasoan, having graduated from Butler High School and her bachelor's degree in management from the University of Phoenix and her master's degree in business administration from UTEP. In 2016, she completed an executive education course at Harvard Kennedy School of Government in behavioral insights. Ms. Melendez is very active in the community, serving on boards that promote and serve El Paso and its citizens, including the Firemen and Policemen's Pension Fund Board and Executive Forum. Welcome, Leila. And lastly, but not Omar Saucedo, Techspark Community Engagement Manager, Mexico, from Microsoft. Omar's background in marketing, productivity, and quality systems, innovation and strategy. For more than 10 years, Omar worked for the Tec de Monterrey in extension programs, where he collaborated in the design and implementation of automotive industry, businesses, academy, and government strategies. Over the past 9 years, Omar has worked in projects aimed to improve education, business capacities, and economic development indicators in Juarez, El Paso area. He most recently served as an Undersecretary of Innovation and Economic Development for the state of Chihuahua, and he was also Director of Desarrollo Económico de Ciudad Juárez AC, and coordinator of border projects for the Borderplex Alliance. Welcome, Omar. With that, we would like to get started with the panel, and we have big news to share with the audience, and I think this is a close to the heart subject for all of us that were invited to this panel. And I would like to start with one of the questions that we were talking about a few days ago. And so how we will share some value with the audience in the area of talent development. So I would like to ask you guys, what resources are available for talent development right now in the area, and how can we help companies get access to these resources? Leila, if you want to start.
Sure, thank you for that question. Texas Workforce Commission, or Workforce Solutions Borderplex, which we are the local office of the Texas Workforce Commission. We have money. We are federally mandated, and the funding comes from the federal government to the state, and we are mandated by the government to help businesses hire talented people. So we have money to that effect, and we channel those resources here regionally based on our regional needs for that. So there are a multitude of ways and programs that we can engage with the business community on developing training programs, whether they are off-the-shelf training programs that you want to offer your existing incumbent employees, or if it's a proprietary training program within your organization, or if you would like for, if you want your future workforce to have these certain skills and you want us to design a program for people that you will hire in the future, we have resources to provide for that. So there's multiple ways that we can engage. We have, like I said, training for program, funding for training, but we also have funding to help individuals and help the job seekers and new employees get on their feet. And a lot of times, a lot of ways that we've used this is to help job seekers get some work experience. And the way that we do that is we subsidize and we pay their earnings for the first few weeks while they are getting experience within your organization. So they are learning technical skills, they are learning different skills within your organization, and we are carrying that burden and paying for that. And it benefits both. It benefits you as the business and getting some help and some labor, and it's benefited the job seeker with teaching them those new skills. And so we're happy to do that. That's what we want. And then the long term is if they're able to stay with your organization, great. But if not, we have other programs to transition them into. But there are many different resources, and they come in the form of different ways of money to help individuals and help businesses grow along with the needs of this region.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very interesting. So you basically, from off the shelf to very structured trainings, you can even help us develop a specific training that we need to develop our talent for. Right?
That's right. We have worked with other businesses, for example, like Tmac. Tmac offers a great range of different types of training programs. We've set up and we've enrolled several participants in the programs that they design. And then we've also worked with other businesses that they internally have developed for their process and the product that they are manufacturing. And we've designed and we have paid for the training that they have designed internally. So it varies, and we can support those different programs.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Lopez, do you want to continue with that?
Yes, so Tmac, Texas Manufacturing Assistance Center, it provides hands-on management, technology, and operation solutions to small, medium manufacturers across Texas, and especially their employees. We are funded by the Department of Commerce, NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, and we are part of a nationwide manufacturing extension partnership network, which allows us to access thousands of personnel that can provide any unique training or implementation need that a regional manufacturer may have. We are working across 5 main pillars of manufacturing. One of those pillars is obviously people, which is the core of this particular panel discussion. But we also affect products, processes, technology, and with the ultimate goal of increasing profits for the local manufacturing community. Historically, we have provided training and implementation assistance in traditional manufacturing areas of lean, quality, product development, project management. However, looking at trends and needs or the future needs of manufacturers, we have invested in 2 centers of excellence. One related to smart manufacturing, which, with the way technology is advancing and it's being made affordable, it can significantly help manufacturers optimize their operations, if you will. So their employees learning about smart manufacturing is very important, and we can offer that now. Also, the other center of excellence we have is the trusted business advisor. We have seen that typically strategic planning exercises don't have a structure, and what we have found out is giving them a financial implication of every decision that a management makes, either from a transformation standpoint or strategic planning standpoint. If we can plan for the expected financial impact of that, that helps. And the trusted business advisor helps do that. So we, as Leila mentioned, we work with local entities that promote workforce development. And we are constantly not just offering the ones that we have historically offered, but the what is coming in the future. So,
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lopez. Denise, do you want to add your comments to the question?
Yes, thank you, Marco. So we have a strong connection with universities and with maquiladoras. So we're constantly gathering information on what are the new skills that are needed, what are the new necessities in talent development departments. So what we do is that we can design, and we have designed in the past trainings that are going to target specific necessities that are in the market. So we've trained also professors from the universities. We found that it's necessary for them to know the other side of what the industry is doing. So in terms of medical devices and the regulations, we had training, specific training for that. And also we have a lot of information on what are the necessities on talent development. So what we do is that we design trainings to address those specific necessities, so that the new talent that is going out from the universities has all these skills that the industry is asking for. So it's easier for them to go and ask for a job, because they're going to have all the requirements that that job position is requiring.
Thank you, Denise. And how is it that you guys survey the information? How do you get that information? Do you have a
we have a pool of industry that works with us, the 8 of the biggest industries in Juarez, and also we have the connection with the university departments that have the contact with maquiladoras, in which their students are doing internships. So whenever we have a survey, we send it out to the industries that we know, and also we're in connection with different institutions, so they also send out those surveys. So what we want is to have as many information as possible to understand really how and where the region is moving towards, so we can communicate all that information to the different people that are seeking for new skills or new training. We have that information available, and we are able to share it with the universities also, so they can update their programs, their degrees, and the students can have more the skills that the industry is asking.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it, Denise. Omar, do you want to share your?
Yeah. Thanks, Marco, and it's great to be here with you all, guys. I think we currently have more resources than ever. No, we have very good collaboration among universities in both sides, together with clusters, institutions, etc. I would like to highlight that we are currently building some, tools, innovation centers, research centers, and building some programs in collaboration with these institutions I already mentioned to, give our population access to whatever needs they have for talent development. I think overall, because of COVID, that all these tools became more available thanks to the remote tools that we currently have for our people to be able to be trained and develop in different areas, in different sectors. I think in our region, we currently have so many tools that are available, but I think the main need that we have is for our companies and organizations to, define and have one strategy, for talent development. I would like to invite all our companies that we have in both sides, El Paso and Juarez, to think about it. I wouldn't like this panel just to be one session, one reflection session. I would like to invite them to think if they already have a talent development strategy. I think the resources are not going to be limited. I know that Leila, I know that Amit, I know that Conredes and BIOEPJ and other clusters, as well as other institutions, they have plenty of offers to give to our population. So I think it's a matter of connecting ourselves. I think it's a matter of continuing strengthening our collaboration, but there are so many resources. I'd like to mention many of them that are currently available online. Probably I would like to mention one right now, and we'll mention some others in the next questions. But Microsoft and LinkedIn, they made this study with worldwide organizations, and they found that there are 10 key roles right now that all organizations are currently demanding, and we can find those 10 key roles in the opportunity.linkedin.com website, and all our people can access that website and can, have all these programs available for free. So these programs include project management, include information technologies, data analysts, et cetera, et cetera. So we have these 10 roles available for our people to access those, and they're totally there for free for our people, for example.
Appreciate it, Omar. And we will share those links later with the audience, because I think you guys have provided a few points of interest for everybody. And you said it right. We need to start, as a company, we need to start doing those business continuity planning. We need to identify gaps in those roles where we need to fill those roles. And it's hard work. We need to sit down and we need to analyze and we need to talk to people and to our employees and define what's the next step for each of their careers in their development, and where do we see our company in the next few years, and what is it going to take to get us there. So I agree that we need to invite everybody to do this planning and to ensure that you have a talent development program in place for your company, because the resources are not going to stop you right now. As you can see, we have plenty of resources, and we're just mentioning we got, we were honored to be invited here, but I'm sure there's more. We keep searching and we start connecting with each other and asking about these resources and their availability to our communities. So that brings me to the next question, which is, how hard do you think that it was throughout the year and that it is today to add capabilities to our operations? I know that a lot of companies pivoted during the pandemic to try to capitalize on some of the opportunity that was created by this virus. But how hard is it today for a company to do a pivot? And I know that there's rapid prototyping and there's a ton of different disciplines that you can implement to rapid pivoting your company. But how hard is it today to really capitalize or add capabilities to your operations? Dr. Lopez, if you're okay, we would like to start with you. Oh, I think you're on mute, Doctor.
Sorry, my apologies. So in my experience, adding capabilities are typically driven by the needs of the organization or the future trends in manufacturing as we see it. So when such needs arise, we typically look to see if there is funding opportunities available to address that. Tmac has invested in some of these trends, even if there is no funding opportunities, because we see when we ourselves have access and expertise in those future capabilities, we can train the workforce in our region in those capabilities. So for example, adding the smart manufacturing center of excellence was key because it allows Tmac to evaluate technologies such as collaborative robotics or digital twins, additive manufacturing, and kind of evaluate its benefits for small and medium manufacturers and their workforce before they can then go and invest in those technologies. So it kind of creates us like a test bed which manufacturers can take advantage and their employees can then upskill themselves in. So we recently added staff expertise in new product development as well as smart manufacturing, because we saw that our regional manufacturers and the workforce can benefit from that knowledge. We are also looking into like supply chain management kind of expertise regionally because of the new USMCA regulations. Manufacturers are asking, how can we get that knowledge to be able to import and export across the border, which is true of our region. So those kinds of capabilities are being added either through seeking funding opportunities, which many were fortunately made available during the pandemic, so we could upskill employees in that. Also, Department of Energy, SESME, there is a Clean Energy Smart Manufacturing Innovation Institute. They had a proposal out for creating like a smart manufacturing certificate program. So we feel that our employee or local workforce can benefit from a program like that, that gives them exposure to smart manufacturing technologies, but also data analytics and data visualization methods which they can then take back to their organization and use it in whatever capacity. Typically, they feel that smart manufacturing requires a large company, a large organization, but which is not true. We can also scale it down to whatever operation any company is working with and get it done that way. Finally, we have, as I said, part of a statewide and a nationwide manufacturing extension partnership. So if there is a particular skill set or a particular capability that we cannot provide, we can then tap into the statewide and the national network and bring that capability to our region as well, to the workforce here.
Appreciate it, Dr. Lopez. Denise, do you want to add?
Yes, thank you. So from our experience and what we've seen is that from maquiladoras, from industries here in Juarez, especially for the medical devices one, it's been a challenge through all this year to adapt to all the changes that are being needing due to the COVID-19 outbreak. So I think right now we're looking at, as Dr. Lopez said, all the smart manufacturing, trying to implement all those technologies into the different industries. And it's been a tough year, but I think we've have a breakthrough because many people have been training on all the digital skills and all the digital tools that we have, as like Zoom, like Teams, like all the tools that we have been a great tool to give all these capabilities to all the people, all the workers from the maquiladora. So I think cybersecurity matters, all the digital skills, how to have a digital meeting, all the things that are related to all these digital skills, how to do home office. I think those are the things maquiladoras have been focusing a little bit this year, but also introducing all these new processes. It's a little bit harder to train from the distance the new employees and the people that are already on the floor. So I think it's a challenge, but we've have a lot of time to think how we can do it, how we can do this, and all the part of the digital skills. It's been easier to do it because we've been forced to, right? So we didn't have the chance to say, no, I don't want to learn how to work from home, or I don't want to learn how to use Zoom. We had to do it in order to survive. So I think that's one of the positive points of all that happened, and it's something that we can say it's good for it was easier for the industry to train in those capabilities because it wasn't an option.
Thank you, Denise. Leila, do you want to go next?
Yes, thank you. I think to Denise's point, I think it's really important to really reflect on what we've learned, the lessons that we have all learned over the last several months, and how we have learned the different things that we, our traditional approach to learning, even for myself. You sign up for a class, you sit in the class, you listen, you absorb, but the best learning I think that I've done has been in the moment. And if I can apply that learning immediately, it sticks the best. And this is where I encourage our business partners that are listening to us right now, is to really let go of that standard, that traditional, that status quo. This is how we have always approached a training or a skill development program, is really look at how did your employees learn the best this year? There was a crisis, there was a major disruption, and maybe we should always be in that mode, always be challenging ourselves to a constant innovation and constant improvement. And so we should always be working with that urgency in learning, because there is something to produce from that. So I really encourage our businesses to learn and figure out what are the best ways that our employees are learning this and able to apply it, and then develop your skill development and training program from that point on, not the programs that you had years ago, but really this was the best year almost in learning, because we were in just that mode. And so I think that there's a lot of validity in, and also tapping into what else did you learn that it was by accident. Us working from home, we became multitaskers and we didn't even know it. We had to learn how to manage different things at the same time, embrace the technology. I'll tell you that at our organization, we had on the books in our strategic plan for about a couple of years to go paperless. And we were working towards it. We were learning a little bit, and we went paperless in 2 weeks. So you can, it is possible. We are capable of doing it. It's just the urgency that you move with that. But if we can apply that, the closer you can, the shorter the window that you can have on learning to applying it, is where employees will see their value and the value of that training and what they can contribute to the business and what the business can do with it, that really takes on your skills development and your training program a really long way.
Thank you, Leila. And Omar, you want to share your
Marco.
thoughts on this?
Yeah, sure. The world has changed now because of COVID. So we are truly in the digital economy era. I think this question is very important. How hard it is to add capabilities to our operations. I don't think it's that hard if we have a plan. What for do we want to add these new capabilities? If we have that clear, I think it's going to be easy. That we can get those new skills and new capabilities even from our local entrepreneurs. So I know many entrepreneurs from our region that they are trying to offer new skills or new capabilities like digital transformation ones to our organizations. But sometimes the problem we find is that within operation lines or within like middle management, we find the need of these guys to get these new kind of solutions. But sometimes our leaders or top management, they are not convinced enough. So I think I think decision makers have a very important role right now. I think they have the opportunity to make this new type of decisions. We need to change. We need to have our organizations modernize and become more update according to the circumstances, the current ones, and the new type of needs that we're going to be living in the next months. So I think we have capabilities and skill offers locally. Even Techspark, we have a big offer with our allies here in the region to give to our companies and to large, medium size and small companies. But like I said before, sometimes we don't find this digital transformation plan, or we don't have the direction of the top leadership to start changing or to start upgrading our organizations. So I think like a big challenge for us is to cause more awareness to our leaders that it's the time to make the decision right now. If we don't do this, definitely we're going to face competitiveness challenges in the next months. We have resources locally to do that, and I would like Leila said, I would invite our decision makers to get in touch with us, or with other players that we're in the region, and think about it. What is our digital transformation plan? How does this look, and what are the needs that we have? And I'm sure that we're going to find the solutions locally.
That's very interesting. You mentioned that. Thank you, Omar. A couple of months, or probably around 6 months ago, I was thinking of having a remote assistance capability added to our mix in BEPC, and I wouldn't have imagined that it was possible in 6 months, but by the addition of these technologies, because we needed to add that as part of our offer, because customers needed our experts to provide remote assistance. And then the offer in the industry there was a few different solutions, but we opted for HoloLens and remote assistance capability, and we were able to incorporate it like in a week. In a week, we were already talking through Teams in a holographic environment with mixed reality. So it is really important that you check on all these subjects, and that you really analyze it as and our business leaders, the leaders of the companies need to analyze what resources are out there, and a good way of doing that is to get in touch with us, to get in touch with you guys, and it's easier than we usually would think. I would like to encourage the audience to send your questions through the chat. I will be getting those questions through the chat, and we will be getting to them at the end of the session. We should have a few minutes for answering your questions. And I appreciate for those of you that are sending your questions right now. I have a bunch of questions. We will have to pick and choose the top ones. Appreciate it. So the next question is, we would like to hear what you have observed in the manufacturing industry in 2020 in terms of needs and readiness to compete. Have you seen companies that are ready to compete at a global scale? Have you identified that we're lacking something, or what are your thoughts on this subject? And we can start with you, Omar, if you don't mind.
Yeah, thanks, Marco. Well, because of this new area that we're living, manufacturing, to be ready to produce faster and to be ready to have more flexible production models is vital, no, for them to exist. Innovation becomes much more important nowadays. How to solve all this, hyperconnection or hyperconnectivity that we have worldwide. I was mentioning some examples to some people before, like how close they came to digital commerce. Now, even though digital commerce has been there for many years, but many population worldwide, they now had to use digital commerce, or they had to use it much more than before. So this gives many more options to our population worldwide to be, buying from a mobile device or a computer like they had never done it before. So customization or more requirements, they are being brought up recently, so manufacturing has to react to those needs, and in order to do that, our manufacturing companies need to also become more flexible, especially with talent. It's going to be really hard that all the solutions come from the main leader of the organization, so I think this is the time to empower talent more than ever. This is the time to let our talent grow, develop themselves, become more creative, and to give the right channels to our collaborators for them to become part of the solutions, for them to become part of the new proposals for, bringing innovations to the solutions that our manufacturing companies are offering. I was telling you the other day, Marco, that the term of creativity becomes much more important. I think productivity is going to be based on, how creative our organizations are, and the organizations are integrated by people and talent. So I would invite our decision makers to think again, what am I doing, or what are we doing to enable our talent to be part of the solution? How much we are investing, not only money, but time for our people to use their creativity, and help us define new value added to our customers.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you, and I totally identify with that. And so when I have my one-on-ones with our employees, I usually ask them or I tell them that when they're being creative, they're at the top of their performance, because it allows them to work, and to work on designing a product or designing a solution, and no boundaries, right? One of the stipulations of working with agile projects is when you're creating a backlog of activities for a software development project, you must not tell them which software to use or which language to use. You tell them your user requirement specification, but let them do the solution. And that's very important, because it allows them to really go out there and experiment and bring that best solution if you take yourself out of the equation. So appreciate your comments. Leila, do you want to go next on that?
Sure, I'll just add a few comments to that. I think something that we definitely observed, and not just in manufacturing, but across all industries, is the need to be flexible. Is standards are gone. Even the standard titles, job titles, occupations, work schedules are out the door. Us in our organization, I'm using one person to do 3 different things, because those are the natural talents that they have. And so over the last several months, we have learned what to bring in and what to use from different people. And especially with the needs now working from home, that's a whole other layer. So we're adapting to that, and we're actually taking advantage of what that means, and how to make those employees happier. It's really hard to be happy right now, but when you can have a happy employee, great. And for us, that has been allowing some of our people in accounting to work until 9 o'clock, but that's because they don't start until 2 o'clock in the mornings. They're parents and they're home teachers, so they can do accounting in the evening. Great. It ends up they're comfortable, they're able to do what they need to do, and we as an organization are still getting what we need as an organization. And that has been, I think, one of the biggest things that we should embrace, is that flexibility, and use it to the best of your organization. Don't box yourself into the industry norm and say, well, our industry works this way.
Yeah.
It should be your business works this way. Your business model works best this way for whatever it is you're trying to produce. So that's what I think has been the biggest lesson, is flexibility in titles and in schedules and in roles, and really just tapping into all of the different things that you need from your employees and bringing all of those to light. And that really does go a long way, because they're producing and they're happier and they're contributing in a way that they never had before.
Oh yeah, totally agree. Thank you, Leila. Denise, do you want to go next?
Yes, so I've heard Omar and Leila, and I think the key word for this year it's flexibility. So I think working from home or working from the industry, from your work environment, it's been different for all of us. And I think this year we've done things we never thought it will be possible. Like here in Juarez at the beginning of the pandemic, many industries had to close their doors or had to work at a 30% capacity indoors of the industry. So I think none of them thought that it was possible to have the rest of their employees working from home, but it was possible. So I think we have this capacity of adapt to the challenges, to the necessities that we have. And I think one of the main things that I mentioned before is that the industry needs their employees, and they have been training them for this to know how to protect the information of their work environment, but working from home. How to adapt all this cybersecurity, how to teach an employee, maybe a human resources employee, to protect their documents, to protect on the home network. Right, because in the work environment, you can have firewalls, you can have many things to protect all the documents or all the confidential information that you have, but how to do it from home, and also all the giving all the generations now have to work through a computer screen. So it was a challenge before, working one-on-one from the millennials to all the other generations. Now working through a computer, I think the communication skills are one of the main topics they're focusing on, because it's a little bit difficult to know what the other person is thinking when you're only seeing through the screen. You're not looking like how they move or their postures, so it's a little bit hard. So I think those are the main things that we've seen that maquiladoras are focusing on, or all the industries, because of the changes we've had through this year.
Thank you, Denise. Dr. Lopez?
Yes, not to repeat many of the things I agree that the co-panelists mentioned, but I think one key thing that stands out here is the need for a company to pivot its operations. In a pandemic, one of the main lessons we learned is how can we pivot, or are we even ready to pivot? We are making 80% of product A and 20% of product B, and suddenly that equation flips, and I don't maybe necessarily have that same percentage of employees that know how to make product B. So now, that brings a question of upskilling and cross-trained employees. So which brings into then question, have we planned for disruptions? Have we planned for these things when we talk about our strategic plan? Maybe it's a 3-year or a 5-year. So in upskilling employees, making them a little bit more skill, platform where they have core knowledge of one, but they have, basic working knowledge of some of the other skills that may be needed to affect this flexibility or adaptability to new operations when certain disruptions occur. So that's where having that plan and taking advantage of all the resources that Tmac, BIOEPJ, Workforce Solutions, Techspark, all we can provide is key. And doing that proactively and not as a reactionary thing is something I would recommend. So, definitely would recommend having a plan for having cross-trained employees as and when these flexibility and adaptability changes need to happen in organizations.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez. And so you mentioned that, do you have examples or training for planning for disruption and cross-training? I know, small companies and big companies, it's really hard to do cross-training for across every single position, but if we structure it correctly, I know that it can be done. So do you guys offer this type of engagement with companies?
Well, yeah, so that engagement would be more at a strategic level, if you will, in understanding what kind of market the particular company is trying to penetrate with what kind of products. So knowing the skill set needed to make those products or enter those markets will allow us to create a portfolio of workshops or certificate programs that we feel if an employee or employees from a particular organization with that kind of intention, if they go through these 4 or 5 different training programs or skill sets, be it a combination of maybe lean and product development, maybe R&D people are more aware of it. So a combination of a few of these traditional programs and the new programs that we are offering, if they go through that and have that knowledge, it will position the company and its employees a little bit better when they want to affect or have that flexibility in place. Obviously, I can't mention specifics without knowing, what it is that the company is looking for. But I think because of the customized nature that is needed here, we can certainly look at the overall training portfolio and recommend related ones specific to the company.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez. And I would like to pause for questions and get one of the questions from the community that I thought it was really interesting. For all the panelists, they were asking, are there training programs for professionals as well as technicians? If so, can you share an example? And I know the answer is yes, but I would like to hear different examples from you guys. So
I'll pick that one up if you don't mind.
Thank you.
There's always been a lot of resources available, but I think this year in particular, because of the urgency that we are in, the federal government and the state government have really put to light a lot of resources for free and top shelf resources. And so we have available through our website, and I'll provide that later, access to a lot of different trainings. And these are actual certificate based that you would typically have had to have paid for. But some of these are supervisory certificates, project management certificates, IT, CompTIA, cybersecurity level training. So those are for and human resources, different training programs. So there are very specific technical type of training that you can get for your frontline workers, but then there's also that mid-level and higher level management supervisory courses, if I hadn't mentioned it. And then there's also, presentation and communication skills. So there is a cadre of different training resources available, not just to the technicians, but also to your professionals that need some of that grooming to become into leadership positions. So there are quite a bit of resources available right now.
Thank you, Leila. Omar, do you want to share?
Yeah, it's just like I said before, there are plenty of resources for all levels, basic levels, technician levels, advanced levels. I already mentioned this link from LinkedIn, which is opportunity.linkedin.com. And there, even though many of the programs that we have there seem to be basic, but any people that enroll into this program, once they finish these programs, they can choose to go beyond, not to go to more intermediate or at higher levels through that link. But I don't know, we have so many like resources with our allies that it depends a lot on the topic that the company is interested in developing. So I would recommend the person that made the question to reach out to us and specifically tell us, what is the field they are interested in developing, and we'll, give you, many options, no, for you to choose from, no. Particularly, I would like to, highlight that it's important for us to equip our population in digital skills. No, it's very important that our population they are enabled to understand digital and technological skills uh, for all levels. No, from basic levels probably for our operation people, but also advanced level for our decision makers, etc. And particularly in decision making level, I would like to invite our people to start wondering, how much we are interacting with artificial intelligence that is going to become like a language. And some people think that, for example, artificial intelligence is going to be available only for high level people or scientists, and it is not. No, so I would invite our people to visit the Microsoft Business AI School, for example, and they're going to be surprised because they can access some programs that are for beginners, even just to understand what is the meaning of AI, from the very basic stage, to a very high level if they want to, or if they really want to take advantage of these tools that are currently available.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you. And if we are talking about really specific skills that we need to develop, Dr. Lopez, do you have any programs at UTEP that can be a benefit to the community?
So again, based on the need to separate professional and technician, right? So if we are very hopeful on the product development expertise that we have brought in, it creates an ecosystem of innovators and entrepreneurship that can take advantage of the formal methodologies that offers. So that could be a professional course, but within that, let's say somebody just wants to use a CAD software to create product designs, and that could be if you think about where the education upskilling is going on, that could be the next technician that is able to do detailed product designs, make analysis on those product designs. That is something that we can offer to the companies that want to add that. On the other side, smart manufacturing, somebody can set up an entire smart manufacturing setup, to make a particular product. But let's say programming a particular robot, or creating a program for data visualization, the technicians can know how to do that, and we can have a formal program just dedicated to something like that. So we can definitely separate professional courses from technical courses. And at UTEP, because Tmac Paso del Norte is housed at UTEP, we have access to all these faculty that are doing state-of-the-art cutting-edge research in some specific things. So there is a company that is looking to develop a new formulation, a chemical, solvent, or whatever the case may be, we can tap into those expertise as needed. So again, we are certainly fortunate to be able to afford that level of or that separation from professional all the way to technical education, if you will.
Appreciate it. Very interesting. Denise?
So as Omar mentioned, we've done a lot of partnerships along this year, and one of them, I think it's Omar and Microsoft is part of this, is this training that it's been developed along with another partners like Empleabilidad from Desarrollo Económico and Core Group, and it's a training that is designed for people from human resources to be able to use digital skills to recruit people. And also there's another side of this that it's specific for people that are looking for a job. So this training gives them different digital skills, so it's easier for them to apply for a job. And one of these skills that they acquire in this training, it's gonna help them have that job that they're looking for. And also there's many partners that we have here in Juarez that are developing different courses that are like CITA, that's the Center of Innovation and Advanced Technologies. They are developing many trainings to target specific necessities that the industry is needing. So I think, as Omar said, it's easier for us to really tell you the information that you need if you reach to us and you tell us if you need maybe something related with intelligence or artificial intelligence, sorry, or digital skills, or maybe soft skills, because we have a lot of resources, so we can point you to the one that you need.
Awesome. Thank you for your response. This is very useful, and I hope we all answered that question. And going back to our main questions, we have 2 more questions for you that we would like to ask you. And you mentioned, Denise, that you have some trainings for people to actually get some digital skills to help them get a job faster, help them get back to work. And that includes soft skills, which are, very important nowadays. And we have identified, we have all seen how that is important in companies and in the private sector, in the public sector. So how important are soft skills, and what resources are available in that specific area, just soft skills? Because I know we need communication, we need presentation skills, we need probably leadership is one of the main ones. And we're often coaching people to achieve goals, and we use communication, we use even good emailing practices or good that's part of communication. So what resources, it'll be interesting for all of us to see what do you guys think about how important are these soft skills, and what type of resources are available so that we can all take advantage of them. Yeah, go ahead, Denise.
Sorry. So for our experience and what we've seen with the different industries we work with, we've heard that it's easier for the industry, for the people to learn technical skills than to learn soft skills from a training, from being at a work environment. So for them, it's better to hire someone that has leadership, that has trainings, that have different skills related to communication, with teamwork. So it's because it's better for them. It's easier for them if they have someone that it's good with people. That if they had someone that doesn't have these skills, it's it's hard for them to give them all these skills. Now, if you have someone that it's creative, that has all these soft skills, it's going to be easier for them to learn all the processes in all the hard skills. In Conredes, what we do is that we have a tool, a soft skills platform. So the maquiladoras, the industries we work with, they can go on the platform and they can put the information of the interns they have. And when the intern finishes the internship, the person that was the direct supervisor of this intern goes on and he fills up a survey on soft skills, and then we get that information. So what we do is that we gather all that information on the soft skills and the how the interns are developing, and we send it out to the different universities we work with, so they know how their interns are performing in terms of soft skills. I think it's really important. I think maybe here in Juarez, one of the more important skills is English. We don't give English all the importance that we need to give. Many industries are struggling finding people that have a good level of English. So also the communication skills, as you said, the leadership skills, all the innovation skills. So I think those are one of the most important skills, soft skills that the people need to have.
Thank you. Very, very interesting. So you provide that feedback is part of the process of the internship with the university.
Yes.
Right? In turn, the universities will do something about whatever you gave them as feedback for their interns, right? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. How about you, Omar?
Well,
what do you think about soft skills? One of our biggest one is communication. I'll tell you that. We often see communication in our emails being figured out.
No, and I was saying that we were talking about flexibility, creativity. These are like soft skills, no? I would say that soft skills are as important as digital skills and technical skills. So digital and technical skills are like horizontal tools, no, that all organization must have, no, within their employees. But if we only have technical skills or digital skills and we don't have the soft skills, it's going to be like useless, no, resource, because in order to use technology, we need to have the soft skills. We need to have, abilities on how to communicate, how to work in teams, how to, analyze information, etc., etc. No, decision making, etc. No, so soft skills are really important for any organization, for them to evolve, for them to, come up with these solutions that we mentioned before. So soft skills are critical. And just like Denise was mentioning, I agree that soft skills are even harder to develop than digital or technical skills. But I think our organizations, within their talent development plan, they should include both. Because on the other side, if we only have people that are very creative, or people that are very good at collaboration, working in teams, etc., and they don't know how to use digital skills or digital tools, it's going to be complicated. It's just going to be, 50% of the equation. So I think both are really, really important. And just like Denise mentioned, I know that JJ, that is in El Paso, and me, that I'm here in Juarez, we both have a lot of programs with our allies to help organizations offer trainings. No, Denise already mentioned one that we are currently doing with Desarrollo Económico here in Juarez, Competitividad Laboral, etc., which we call Empleo 4.0. And I invite our people to visit our website, which is empleo40.com, and there they will find a program that is going to help them being able to learn digital skills, but also soft skills, no, because we know that these soft skills are key for our company's operation. And we have many more programs that are available right now in Juarez and in El Paso for our companies to take advantage of them, but also our population, no? And so I would just like insist, that it's both, it's soft skills and it's digital skills.
Totally agree with that. Leila, do you want to share? We heard that according to the needs of the company, you're inviting companies to approach you and approach or visit your website and approach your environment, so that we can share with you what needs do we have. So can you share one example that you have that you have helped someone with soft skills specifically?
Sure, absolutely. And something that I also want to make sure that I stress here with our group is something that we have seen work very well. The model that we've developed with different agencies, there's two things. One, it's consortiums of businesses. We will work with one company at a time, that's fine. But we also know that you all talk to one another across the industry. And you also share the same pain points and the same needs. So as an industry, we absolutely welcome and we encourage, and we can put funding, especially to multiple companies training in the same, the same disciplines or the same skill sets all at the same time, which will benefit the entire industry in general. So that's something that I really encourage the business listeners here to take advantage of. But one of the best models that we also developed was a cohort, where we brought in a group of students and they went through the program at the same time, and we blended the soft skills at the same time as they were learning the technical skills. So we had individuals learning a very technical cybersecurity program, but in their curriculum, they were learning presentation. They had to present projects. They had to work as teams. They had to communicate. They had to do all of these things. And it wasn't like a separate class. It was something that they were learning as they were going. And at the end, we ended up seeing leaders rise up to the top. Who was the lead of this team? Who found their voice in presenting when they never used to present before? And so those were the things that came out of those different training programs. And we've seen also internally with some of our employees that this happens, is you tap into a skill set, let's say a technical skill set that they are very good at, they can talk all day about it. If they're really good at something, they will give one of the best PowerPoint presentations ever, right? So you tap into that and you say, now let's work on this skill. And they're more willing to learn those soft skills if it can be applied and if it can be blended into the technical skills that they're learning as well. So we found that example worked really well. Kind of doing both at the same time was a very good practice.
It's like you were saying in the beginning, the best way to learn it is to, shorten the learning and the application itself.
Correct.
Is the best way of cognitive knowledge, right?
That's right.
Developing cognitive knowledge. So what about you, Dr. Lopez? Have you experienced or have you ended up providing these type of trainings?
Yeah, so as faculty members at UTEP, we do encourage this as part of the course curriculum. Me personally, in my experience, I'm a big proponent of project-based learning. So every class that I teach, I try to incorporate a project where we start implementing some of the things that I'm teaching to some project that the students are developing either individually or as a team. But I think Omar mentioned an important point is to empower employees. As manufacturing organization, if we can empower employees to have critical thinking, to have problem-solving skills, embedded in the way they do things. We have templates like 5Y is a very well-known template. We encourage the employees to ask, themselves, why am I doing this thing the way I'm doing it, and what can be done better? And just simple things like that enable them to take ownership of what it is they're doing. And then that can translate into maybe there is formal presentations or informal presentations at the end of a shift. Give me your best idea today. And the ability to give a 5-minute pitch on a new idea, having employees given that opportunity is important. So at UTEP, we do encourage formal presentations. Technical writing is a big thing that is taking off now. How can we take everyday English but not use it in the way we write technical reports? Making it to the point, too concise, giving it a structure of a problem statement, a methodology, a result, and a conclusion is something that we can definitely promote. And at Tmac, we do that when we send our reports and give presentations to companies when we engage with them. But educating employees on the process behind it is something that can also be important. Something that we have found when we deliver projects is also giving an employee a bigger perspective of their task. They're doing this task in a very siloed environment. Having even an image of where that particular small piece ends up and what its use is and why that is important, it helps them, from a confidence boosting standpoint. So sorry, went a little philosophical, but I think making employees, making them confident in those outputs or those contributions is important.
Appreciate your response, Dr. Lopez. I think yeah, go ahead, Omar.
Yeah, just quickly, and talking about that, Dr. Lopez, about philosophy, as artificial intelligence advances more, philosophy is going to become much more important. The interaction between the man and the machine, the only difference is going to be precisely the capacity of the human being to have these soft skills and this philosophical thinking. Just to add to that.
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah.
So thank you all. I wanna really thank you all for letting me learn from you, and great insights and great a lot of homework to do for our company. I'll be sure to check all of you and your web pages and contact you, because I know we have a lot of needs for talent development, and it's great to know that you cover the full spectrum, so we don't need to go anywhere else, and just really finish out with our planning and start reaching out to see how we can work together with our talent development plans. The last question I have for you before we go into the questions from the audience is, how do we get access to you? If just provide your website, or how do we get access to these programs, or how do we get access to you guys? And you can start, Denise, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course. So if anyone needs more information on the Corredes program or anything that related to that, you can reach me at my email that it's borderplexalliance.org, sorry, or at our Conredes webpage that it's conredes.org or org, sorry.
Thank you, Denise. Leila?
Sure. I think that the easiest way, I'm going to give you my phone number and you can reach me directly. It's 915-887-2600. And that's our Workforce Solutions Borderplex. And you can just ask for me directly, or you can ask about any of the programs that you're interested in. But if you want to ask for me directly, they'll route you to me and you and I can have a one-on-one conversation. And then I'll put my email in the chat. And then also our website is borderplexjobs.com. But if there's any questions that you all might want to have specifically about, the resource opportunities, the grant opportunities, training programs, you can reach me via phone, 915-887-2600.
Thank you, Leila. Thank you. Dr. Lopez?
Yes, just for the benefit of everyone, I just put the details also in the chat window. But again, my email address here is ajlopez with an S at the end instead of a Z at utep.edu. Phone number is 915-747-5958. And we also have Tmac as a website, tmac.org, which will give you more information on all the things that we do and assist small business and small medium manufacturers with.
And we're recording this, so we'll share a page with a contact for everybody so the audience can reach out to you. Omar?
Yeah, you can find me in person here at the THOF facility in Juarez. And I think my email address is the best way also to reach out to me. That's omar.saucedo@microsoft.com.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you. And with that, I would like to go into one last question from the audience before we go into the finishing remarks. I have one question that was really interesting. So do you see, and this is for everybody, not addressed to anyone, but everybody, do you see the cross-border dynamic in El Paso Juarez more of an opportunity or a challenge when it comes to developing skills and addressing workforce gaps? Leila, I would like to start with you since.
Sure. I think that it's absolutely an opportunity. And I think even though we are, we're one region, it's two different labor pools. And I think we influence one another and we challenge one another. If one area knows something that the other doesn't, it's up to that other side to learn it. And I think that that's a really critical dynamic that we can, and if we can take advantage of, if we embrace it, if rather than seeing it as a shortcoming and say, oh, we don't understand that, or they're a little bit more advanced in this, let's just lean into that and let's learn as much of those, and let's share what it is that, what are those assets that each side has, and allow the other side to learn that as well. So I think that it's a tremendous opportunity that we have. It's something very, very unique, and I encourage us, and what comes down to it is communication, and we have to share that with one another, with each side, and then and share how we are learning those different things. How is Juarez doing this, and how is El Paso doing this, and identifying those different resources and partners and ways to get those things done.
Thank you, Leila. Thank you. Denise, do you want to go next?
Yes, so as Leila said, I think it's also an opportunity because we're at the border, right? So we have the opportunity to reach out to the local universities from El Paso or here in Juarez to see how they work, how are they structuring their degrees, and also with the industries, how are they upskilling their talent, how are their training development plans, and see how can we work together, because I think it's better. Maybe we can also find a way to develop internships across the border where our local students go to an industry from El Paso, or people from UTEP or from different universities come here to Juarez to the industries. So I think it's good because we can see the culture for both sides of the border. We can see the different skills they have, and we can try to understand how to work together to upskill in a different level as a region, and not only as a city, but as a region, so we can attract more companies if we have a more better prepared talent here in the region.
Thank you, Denise. Omar, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I think it's more than an opportunity. I agree. It's at least it is an opportunity, but I think it's a strength already. And talking about empowering, I would like ask our listeners. No, I'm empowering our listeners to give us suggestions, like how can we improve or take advantage of this strength of this current collaboration that we already have. I think if our listeners could share with us new ways that they see that we should like design, develop, or improve what we are currently doing, I think that would be great for us to listen from you guys, and then bring many more initiatives, binational initiatives regarding talent development. I think we have key players in both sides, that we have this great collaboration and great relationship. I think we are doing many current projects, and definitely we need to develop many more initiatives that can take advantage of these great assets that we have in both sides. And most of these assets are already communicating between themselves. But if you could help us define or design new talent development strategies, that would be great to hear from you guys.
Thank you, Omar. Dr. Lopez, we finished with you.
Yes, so definitely, we as a nonprofit funded by federal funds is driven more by impacts, right? How much do we impact the small, medium manufacturers with sales or costs that are saved or jobs that are created? So as Omar mentioned, feel free to reach out to us with any issue. It can be related to manufacturing or broader, and give us a chance to, either see if we can address it in some way or find resources for you in order to address that. So that's what I would add to the comments that are already made in that regard. So
thank you, Dr. Lopez. And I appreciate the comments that are coming in through the chat. My friend Jose Gerardo is sharing that he's working on mapping the supply base available in the binational area, and that will also provide additional insight on what the talent development needs there are for the industry. Appreciate it, Jose. And so Jackie, do you want to, I would like to defer to you for the closing remarks, if you're ready.
I am. So if I could get my camera turned on, that would be great.
Thank you, everyone. This was very helpful. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Marco.
Thank you,
And
Marco.
team. Nice to see you, Tim.
Okay, well, thank you so much to our panelists and to you, Marco, for leading that discussion. Super interesting and valuable to everybody working in the industry and in economic development efforts in our region. I hope that our audience does follow up with each of you and takes advantage of the resources and opportunities you have to offer, because there are many of them. I'd also like to make an open invitation to anyone who can contribute to these efforts moving forward, whether it's reskilling, upskilling, or trying to understand our skills gaps. As we had a comment, there are efforts with supply chain mapping and with innovation that all lead back to talent development in our region that we have task forces within BioEL Paso-Juarez to address. So we invite you to reach out to us and learn how you can get involved. We have one webinar left in today's summit program, and we invite you to log on in about 12 minutes to hear from Saul de los Santos on med device industry in Mexico, lessons from COVID-19. Sure to be a really insightful and interesting presentation and discussion there. One more time, thank you to our sponsors, MCA Foundation, Ingenio RX, and RexMed, and Avanti Mediclear for making the summit possible. Thank you again to all of our speakers, our panelists, Marco, BEPC, thank you all for your support. And we hope to see you on the exhibit hall floor and at our next session. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
bye, everyone. Take care. Stay safe.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye,
Okay,
everyone.
Bye. Bye, Leila.